tell those voters in Virginia, in a solidly red state, that CRT and curriculum doesn't matter, because it did down there. Good evening. My name is Tom Chavez. At this point, I'm sure you're all pretty familiar with who I am and why I'm here. So let's get right to it. The question is critical race theory or the principles of critical race theory being taught in District 205 classrooms? Teachers deny it. The board president, a board member, and the assistant principal told me directly and emphatically that it's not being taught. So what's the answer? First, I think it's important to define what critical race theory is. This is important because CRT proponents use word games and semantics to deflect criticism and hide what they're really up to. They explain away indoctrination as teaching honest history or teaching the truth. They name call parents, like tonight, who push back as ignorant, closed-minded, or afraid to discuss uncomfortable parts of American history. None of that is true. Critical race theory holds that the United States is a nation founded on white supremacy and oppression, and that these forces are still at the root of our society today. Critical race theory suggests that American institutions, such as our Constitution, legal system, and capitalism, are also racist, and it follows the Marxist dichotomy that pits oppressors versus the oppressed. In District 205, teachers, with the support of the Board of Education, principals, and administration, are supplementing lessons about math, reading, and civic responsibilities with intolerant, racially discriminatory pedagogy. So what does this look like? Here are some examples. Keisha Carrot Scott, can you explain what intersectionality is? And why is it being taught? Intersectionality, a component of critical race theory, reduces individuals to a collection of racial, gender, and sexual identities, which determine whether an individual is privileged or marginalized. A York classroom has a wall mural titled Intersectional Identity. Can anyone explain what this is and why it's being presented to children if CRT is not being taught in our schools? Another example, a teacher discusses Thomas Jefferson, our founding as, quote, Another example, a teacher discusses Thomas Jefferson, our founding as, quote, a problem.
30 seconds.
She further explains, if we can understand that there's a problem, then we can think of ourselves differently when we look in the mirror. Real critical thinking, real critical teaching would ask students to think of slavery in the context of world history, where it began, how and why it came here, and how it ended here.
3 minutes.
And where it still exists today. But that's not what's being taught by activists in District 205.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, Ms. Sutherland.